Good morning, everyone. We'll be opening the stream here in just a few minutes. Well, technically it's already open, but we're just tidying up a few things here. Go ahead and give us a sound check if our voice is coming through nice and clear, and let us know if this is a good level for the music as well. Thank you guys. Just doing a quick sound check. We'd appreciate it if you could sign off on the audio. Thank you very much. All right, Doggo, thank you very much for replying. How are these levels now? Music and voice. Voice should be louder, music should be softer. Okay, thank you very much, guys. That seems to be the proper levels. We'll begin the stream real soon. Thanks for coming in. Okay, how about this? Is this any better on the voice? Just give us a thumbs up if not. All right, there we go. You should be seeing us now, hopefully. Hello, good morning, everybody. Let us click back to the chat log here so we can see who's here. Alrighty here. Let's see who we have. Let's just, no, we're going to need those after all. Or we're going to have to move the monitor closer. Yes, I know, standard Infinity System live stream. I have to futz with our glasses and the monitor. Is that better? Can we read it now? Sort of, maybe, kind of, a little bit better. Just wait till you get old, too. Ow. Probably shouldn't do that too much. Okay, here. At least, yes, we can see. Ish. Okay. Let's see here. Today we have Oxy. Hello, Oxy. Good to see you. Let's see here. Nothing here but a box. This is Doggo. We've got E White. We've got Blue Rose. We've got that 420 Witch. Hello, you have a cute dog. Nice little pug dog. We like them. Although they always look like they've ran face first into a glass, door at high speed. Like, but very cute dog. Normally, we're not doggo people, but we'll make an exception for you, 420. Let's see, Naomi, we were just thinking about you the other day. We're hoping that things are going better for you. When you went quiet there, we started to get a little bit concerned, but we've had stuff crop up, so hadn't had a chance to message you yet, but we're glad to see you here today. Emma, hello, you made it. Welcome. This is Emma. This is her first time making it to a live. She's been binge watching all the others as comfort background to your studying. Well, hopefully you're paying more attention to your studying than you are to us, but thank you very much for doing that. Let's see, 420 Witch. Let's see here. Naomi said, Doggo, Blue Rose. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Excellent. Emma's saying hello. Virtually everyone here is socially awkward, Emma, so don't feel bad about that whatsoever. Kind of goes with the territory. Let's see here. E. White is dealing with bronchitis at the moment. Doing okay-ish ourselves. That is terrible. Make sure that you're taking some antibiotics or whatnot. And, of course, stay hydrated, which is the best thing that you can do for your body. Bronchitis sucks. Inflammation of the bronchial membranes. Hello, Data. Let's see here. Who else do we have? We're skimming a little bit, so we can keep up. Yep, Naomi, repeating what we said. Everyone here is very socially awkward, kind of, sort of, in their own way. Let's see here. Now we're up to the sound check. Doing good, doing good. Voice is good. Let's see here. Hello, hello. Encrypted, hello. Glad to see that you were able to make it. Let's see here. Also at Infinity System, I hope this won't upset you, but given the day I've had, I might fall asleep to your voice. Not at all. You would not be the first person to fall asleep to the sound of our voice. Our first wife, that happened to her all the time, and our current wife, and we actually used to do well, I suppose you would call it a podcast now, a radio show, way back in the day, in the mid-90s, and a lot of our viewers would end up falling asleep. So don't feel bad. It's something about the tone of our voice or the resonance or something. I don't know. They like it. They fall asleep to it. We won't be offended. If you've had a rough day, feel free to go ahead and sack out. Okay, let's see here. I'll put this back here. Move you, Mr. Dragon. Mr. Dragon. We're going to put him here behind the monitor for the time being. Okay, let's see here. Love the shelves, Blue Rose says. Yes, thank you very much. We're still playing with the order of the knickknacks or knickknacks or dust collectors or whatever you want to call them. We like things orderly and neat. Let's see, 420 Which says he's a Boston Terrier Cross French Bulldog. Goodness gracious. Let's see here. Stefan. Hello, Stefan. Or do you, the older you, pronounce it Stephen or Stefan? We know that you said that for your little, which we will be putting a sheep up for. Absolutely, it's pronounced Stefan, which is the default way we pronounce it. But if you prefer Stefan, just let us know either way. We wish we would have found y'all's video at the start of our journey, but we're glad we found y'all. Thank you very much for your kind words. We're just here to share our perspective, our research, what we've managed to find out, what our therapist has shared with us. And as far as the live streams go, we'll probably wait until a little bit later till we've got more people before we go over the rules. But basically, here's the way that we see our forum. And we may have to ditch this chair because it's making a squeaky noise that y'all can probably hear. So if we run out to get another one, but maybe if we just shift forward a little bit. But anyway, here's our live stream philosophy. Rather than other channels, basically, who, basically it's more about whoever is producing it and, direct Q&A and whatnot. And we're happy to do that. If you have any questions, feel free to lay them on us. If you've been perusing through our content, you know that we don't, hold much back. If we don't feel something's appropriate, we'll let you know straight up front, but we won't get offended at any question. So feel free to ask away no matter what it is. But as far as our live streams go, we think of it more as the classical idea, the Greek idea of a forum, an open forum where people come and with a in this case, condition to gather and share tips and tricks and, just basically have a sense of community because each of us has a bit of knowledge or a bit of experience that we can all share with the others, no matter which part or point we're at on our journey. And we haven't had our second cup of tea yet, so the mouth is still going blah, 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 blah. So, that's our live stream philosophy. We'll go over the rules in a little bit. Like I said, we'll catch up here before we get there. It's nothing too, ostentatious or anything, just common sense stuff. Let's see here. Oxymoron, either you're lagging or my internet is crushing. We're lagging a little bit today. Sorry about that. Everybody's at home and on the net, so we're doing the best that we can. Let's see, Sad Doggo, having the hand wash and iron slacks, my washer ruined. Otherwise, I might be more chatty. Oh, no. Ironing is always a bit of a chore, but it's kind of satisfying, too, because it's like one of those most satisfying videos. Now, there's an idea for somebody. I don't know if there's ever been an ironing most satisfying video made, but content idea, maybe somebody? Let's see here. Where are we at? Whoops, where did our mouse go? Hello, Mr. Mouse. There we go. Okay. We're going to move you over here because you don't like our tablecloth. Okay. How bad is the reflection on our glasses here? We can always lean forward and squint. Looking, yeah, I don't know. Are you guys finding the light distracting or what? We can ditch the glasses and just move in real close. Why don't we do that till we find out? And no, Wergy, you're going to have to live with it. Sorry. We really need something to just blow this text up. Old eyes suck. Okay, let's see here. Ironing. So, let's see. Still can't wait to see if Percival reads some of the tales of King Arthur. Yes, but like we said before, that is not going to be the next thing up. He's already had the next one picked out, and it's a book that I guarantee you most of you have never even heard of, much less few of you read. I will give you one little hint. It dates back, I think our copy is from 1902. So that should be very interesting for you. How we're going to manage to scan it without it all falling apart is beyond me, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First coming up, though, on the audio book front is our revised version, the complete version of The Forgotten Door, because I, being the editor and, the man behind the curtain, as it were, I've been going through and adding in the sound effects and the atmospheric effects that we did starting from chapter 6, I believe it was, forward, that you guys said added a lot to the story. And plus, we intended to do that, but anyway, so I've been going back in, and instead of individual episodes, this will simply be all of the chapters cut into one long video, so you guys can just put it on and listen to the whole thing. Percival has said it's cool that we cut out his little bits, since he says they're preserved on the channel anyway, and if people want to go and watch him, they can do it that way. So look for that. I'm about 2/3 of the way editing chapter 3 right now, so sometime in April, we're hoping. We also need to do, we're still working on part 2 of the food and DID. Sorry for the delay on that. We did want to get that episode, Goodnight Little Bear, of the little stories out, because we try to do those once a month for the littles. But we do still have part 2, and there's definitely probably going to be a part 3 to that, but there's just so much information that we want to cover. and Data wants to make sure that all of his ducks are in a row, and we were hoping to do it this week, but it just didn't come about because yesterday, actually, a little more than 24 hours ago, we were under general sedation, having one of our teeth pulled because it went kablooey on us, and we spent about 4 days in agonizing pain. So that kind of cut into our production schedule just a teeny tiny bit. But we're definitely going to have at least part 2 of that out in April. So that's basically kind of, normally we do the coming up at the end of the live stream, but did it here, so there, now we have it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and put on La Morte de Arthur for you there, 420 Witch. That's one of our childhood favorites as well, or at least the Howard Pyle stories. Talented man, wrote all those and also managed to do all the illustrations, and they're just gorgeous. Okay, so let's see. Naomi's saying between the quantity of panic attacks, quantity, and the dissociation episodes of however it's called, it was an exhausting day. Yeah, we hear you. We're still kind of floating, slightly sick from the general anesthetic yesterday, but they did give us some lovely painkillers, so haven't had one yet today, but we wanted to be clear-headed. Okay, let's see here. And no, we're not putting ourselves in pain. We're good. The benefits of a normally high pain threshold because of dealing with chronic pain. Let's see here. So, Stephen is staying. Our older is Stephen, like Stephen King, sorry. That also made our little very happy. Thank you, Percival. No problem. Those will be up by the next episode of Little Stories because I, as editor, have to go in and do that in the sequence. And we'll surprise you with that. The ones with them just running across full screen, that's all I can say is that's a temporary thing. For how eventually we're going to display the sheep and make them even more a part of the safe space. But there's some difficult technical aspects that I have to work out on that before that can happen. But yeah, all the folks requesting a little sheep, you'll get that up next episode for your little. So hopefully that'll make them happy and bring them some comfort. Let's see here. Blue Rose, we think we already asked this, but could you give a sheep for the triplets? Drop us a DM or... best way, Blue Rose, is to drop a comment on the stream itself, not here in the chat, but actually drop a comment down below. That way it goes directly to our comment notification thing, and it's a physical, easily found. I think we might probably have their names, but I'm not sitting at the computer right now where we've got the complete list of all the sheep. So we think we did, but double send them to us anyway. Just so that we're sure that got done. Okay, let's see. Everything is all good. Light is okay for us. Okay, no, we hate Dennis. At least I hope the pain is gone now. Yeah, I mean it's that dull ache you have the day afterwards. But yeah, pain's not fun. And with our previous medical trauma, when we go to the dentist, we have to be put out. It has to be sedation and. Yeah, because otherwise it just... moving right along. So let's see here. 420 Witch, over the course of 2 surgeries, I'm having all of your teeth out and dentures made pretty soon. Yeah, we need some of our own. These top things, believe it or not, that's just for show. They're actually really good fake, but, it's only for show. And we're just vain enough that, Anyway, let's see here. So yeah, that sucks. 420, we're with you there. Blue Rose, dental stuff is so scary and painful. Hope you feel better. Absolutely. Most folks here seems they have a fear of dentists. Let's see here. Rose's Rent comes skating in with tea and a clean kitchen. Priorities, absolutely. Hello, Roses. Sad Dog is saying they need to go to the dentist. Always freak out with the, yeah, exactly. We understand what you're saying. Oxy, it's made me kind of sad. Used to have such nice teeth. Same. Although, ironically, us getting braces when we did, because they were the old style full metal band braces with the headgear and the whole kit and caboodle. The guy who did it, I still remember his name, the bastard, Dr. Yamamoto. Yeah, I hate that man because he was just brutal. Anyway, probably dead now. We hope. Anyway. Yeah, we had the full headgear, and it was just a miserable experience, but it literally weakened the enamel of our teeth so that now we're 50. I mean, we got these things when we were, well, let's see, right around that period or before it. So it weakened our enamel, which is one of the reasons our teeth are so bad today, or what's left of them anyway. So yeah, let's see. Freak out more than the dentist. Oxymoron say, yeah, absolutely. 420 saying that they need the anesthesia as well. Let's see. Oxymoron saying they've had bad teeth from the beginning and something always hurts. Not being good at brushing due to trauma things doesn't make it better, though. Yeah, I think that's a commonality among a lot of folks who have, there's just no delicate way to put it, had things stuffed in their mouth that they didn't want to have put there. You tend to associate that with a toothbrush, and you get shied away. I know, we've had that happen to us, and plus 1 year, one of us decided to test the whole fluoride hypothesis thing, and I don't think it was data. He wouldn't be stupid enough to do that. So that definitely didn't help our, teeth. I mean, we brushed, but it wasn't as recommended anyway. We're just way off the side shoot. Let's see here. Let's see here. Naomi's saying have deep teeth cleaning every 6 months, and even though their appointments are usually 20 minutes, yours are 2 hours. Yeah. Oxy's saying they have a very good and nice dentist now. Worked with them for several years, so don't need anesthesia for everything anymore, just the more complicated things. Yeah, for us, it's a mandatory. I'm surprised that we did as well as we did with the eval and the x-rays, but not so much fun. Stephen is saying, got to wait another 6 weeks for their partials to come in. Haven't had a full set of teeth since November of last year. Yeah, we still haven't had any dentures done yet, just simply because we can't afford them. That's just where it's at. Let's see here. Blue Rose. Oh yeah, everything mouth related is very hard for us. Yeah, that's a common one. We know what there's at least one other system there in the chat who also suffers from that problem, but it's not for us to pass that along or anything. Okay, more tea, yes. Alrighty, let's check and see how we're doing on the stream here. Flip over to YouTube real quick. Whoop, what are you doing? Okay, there we go. Okay, there we are. It just needed to update itself. We have 18 concurrent viewers right now. Stream health is excellent. Okay, yeah, so it looks like we just had a little bit of a glitch there around 12:42. Okay, let's go ahead and at this point, let's go over the rules. Alrighty, these are the rules. Rule number 1, you have the right to your opinion. Rule number 2, you have the right to express your opinion. Rule number 3, you do not have the right to abuse others with your opinion. Number 4, don't discuss politics, religion, or sex unless it's topical to what we're discussing for that particular day. More so the sex part, just don't discuss religion or politics. Please, that's not what this channel or this forum is about. Number 5, don't post porn links, troll us or our viewers. We know all the tricks. We've been around since the birth of the internet, and we've been forum admins, we have run forums, we have run chat logs. Just don't. Save yourself some time and save us the time and energy, because you're not going to get a reaction, and we will ban you instantly and shed no tears over you at all. So, there you go. Those are the rules. We will click back to the main stream now. So basically it's just common sense stuff. Mind your P's and Q's, be polite, and as Thumper and Bambi says, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Wisdom from a rabbit. Okay, so let's see here. Those are the rules. Like I said, it's just fairly common sense, and those do apply also for comments on our channel. So keep that in mind as well. And also for you new folks, we don't mind what's termed necroposting. Feel free to comment on any video that you watch on our channel. We will get the comments, and we do respond to all of them, at least with a heart. On other channels, also, this is something that you should be aware of. Just because you see us heart a comment, that does not necessarily mean that we agree with you. We use it to indicate to you that we have actually seen physically your comment and read it. We will not, as in rule number 1, you have the right to your opinion, delete comments even if they run contrary to us, as long as you state your opinion politely. We'll leave it up there. We believe in free speech as long as it's responsible free speech. So, those are the rules, basically, and any qualifiers that we've got. A few provisos, a few quid pro quos. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Where were we? Getting back to the chat log here. Okay, let's see. Oxy's continuing on with the dentist. Lets them sit on a normal chair for almost everything. Never enters the room without talking to us first. Good dentist there. Explains everything and stops. Excellent, excellent. Ours is nice. She's really good. She's competent. Little dentist lady. It's yeah, but she's one of those high energy and knows exactly what she's doing type, which is exactly what we need. So she understands, but we're also very bad at it. We don't go in until we're in that massive pain. There's that self-care thing and self-neglect thing. We are really bad about the medical care, and things like that, the self-neglect part of that. We are trying to be better about making and following dental and medical appointments, but we're terrified of them, and we don't deal with those situations well, and Bootstraps comes out, and things get growly and snarly, and we become rude, and we're going to go back to the chat log now. Let's see here. So, 420 Witch is saying, you're brave, Oxy, braver than me, and need complete anesthesia. We're with you for everything, yet your dentist is calm and good, which still makes no difference. Yeah, exactly, because the body memories kick in, and you can't help it. Stephen, darn dentist is saying, darn dentist is always complaining about pulse and blood pressure. Like, Doc, we already told you about the pressure differences between alters and panic. Yes, the blood pressure changes in the brain. Stephen, if you haven't seen it yet, we cover that exact very thing in our episode. It's called TITH, headaches. I can't remember what exactly the episode is called. Oh, the worst headache ever. TITH, worst headache ever. We go into that exact thing there, where the differing brain waves of the alters and the switches will increase and then decrease the blood pressure in the brain, and can cause those nasty, nasty, nasty headaches. The ones where you would just gladly pay someone to put you out of your misery. Those are called TITH, Transitional Interpersonality Thunderclap Headaches, and they are unique to DID. Other folks and NTs, neurotypicals, can get thunderclap headaches, but not the TITHs. Those are specific to us. Lucky us, yay, yet another perk of the DID fan club. So yeah, we definitely understand that. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to go give that a watch, just for more info on that. Let's see here. Softy, hey, first time catching a stream. Welcome, Softy. Glad you could make it. The first orthodontist they had told you needed a full headgear for your underbite, so we found another ortho who did it without the headgear. We didn't have a choice at that point. This was early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, so, bands were pretty much the thing. And we had to have like 6 teeth pulled before he could even put the damn things on, and then put on the headgear to shove that. We had to wear that every night. Oh my God, it was... Yeah, anyway, it was painful and traumatic, and then there was, of course, all the other things that were going on during that time, so yeah, 1-2 punch. Apparently, it was very important that we had a nice, perfect smile. Probably increased our sale value. Ouch, sorry. Mimi's creeping out there. Good morning, Mimi. Glad you could make it to the stream. Okay, let's see here. Let's see, Oxymoron saying they still have to take a lot of lorazepam to make it work. Not very brave, I'd say, but better than I thought it ever would be. Okay, you're cutting yourself out right there. The fact that you're actually going to the dentist and taking responsibility for that, unlike us, until we wait until we're, literally in agonizing pain, you're taking responsibility for that, and you're showing bravery simply by doing that. So don't cut yourself out on that. You give yourself the credit that you deserve there. So yeah, Oxy, you're brave. You're taking care of it. So let's see, said Doggo. Wow, that was actually a really great impression. Thank you. We've always been talented at them. Just that gift for things. I can remember. Old impression. One of our first was Ronald Reagan. Well, I don't remember. Nancy, where did I put my Bobo? Anyway, but this is also skill, and we've had professional voice training long before we ever knew that we were a system. And it's curious, actually, because the voices that we can do, like for the little stories and whatnot, we will pinch hit between alters on those. But the voices that I can do and that Percival can do during those are just, that's simply the voice acting mostly. We had a talent for it, but we did receive professional training for voice acting long before we ever knew we were a system. So that natural ability, as it was, played into that, and now it's coming into benefit for you guys, and particularly the littles, so we can help bring the little stories and the other, the novellas and eventually the novels to better life for you. Me personally, I like to keep the production values high. We don't like to produce crap. It's either you produce the best that you can with the tools that you have on hand, or you don't do it at all. We don't like to do things half-assed. Okay, so let's see here. Naomi says that the most unsettling part is that their dentist understands that for a kid, having someone hold you down while the dentist gets teeth out, it can actually be traumatic, just ever so slightly. Let's see, folks is saying hello to Roses. Okay, I have to catch up here on the chat. Hang on there, guys. Okay, your husband is full of shit, Naomi. We've already established that. And we are sorry that he's not more supportive. SELF-D, thank you for the welcome. Oh, absolutely, definitely welcome to the channel. Okay, yeah, Roses is absolutely. Your husband is very wrong. This is legit. You are legit. You are valid. Snail Farmer, hello. Good to see that you made it to the stream again. I just love that name. It's just so funny. Let's see here. A little picture of you out there with a pitchfork. Get along there, Slinky. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Yeah, folks giving Naomi support on her husband not understanding things. See, this is why we love you guys, and this is why we run it as a forum, because we all end up supporting each other, and it's much more gratifying and probably much more interesting than just sitting there having a Q&A with us. Again, don't be afraid to ask questions, but this, what you're doing right now, is the main purpose of the stream, and just makes us love you all the more. Okay, let's see here. Dad's friend says something called cluster headaches. He gets so bad he tremors and sweats real bad when they hit. Yeah, similar type of thing. That is a similar thing to the thunderclap headaches. It's like right there on that same edge. Let's see. Stephen is saying that they had the worst TITH headache of their lives while they were taking care of their father, and the doc had to put us on. Oh dear. Isobromide monotitrate, as we couldn't get away from it. Yeah, sorry. At least now you know why. But yeah, there's really not much that you can do except take whatever you have on hand, ibuprofen, and go hit the sack. Stay hydrated and just sleep it off. That's really all you can do. Like we say in the episode, stop, drop, and snore, because you don't want to push things when you got one of those. Because those changes in the blood pressure can get extreme and you may pop a clot. Pop! And that's going to F up your day a lot more than going and getting some sleep. So yeah, guys, if you have a TITH in or out of therapy, drop what you're doing. Seriously, don't screw around with those. Our therapist was real clear about that. And having a medical background ourselves, yeah, aneurysms are nothing to mess with. You don't want to take that chance. So, let's see here. 420 Witch Roses also had cluster headaches as well. Too bad it's an illegal fungus. At least, ironically, the mental health field is starting to look into the benefits of psilocybin cubensis. Let's see, E. White is saying that they had one of the headaches yesterday, felt like a helicopter was trying to land in their brain. Hard switch plus being ill equals brain implosion. Ow, ow, we're sorry. Maldwin, hello. Hello, hello, hello. There you are in Scotland. We're glad to see you on the stream. Oxy saying you're only going when they're in pain and can't bear it any longer. Not that responsible. Hey, take the compliment that we gave you. It's free. It won't cost you a thing. Let it live in your head, at least till the end of the day. We won't tell anyone. Okay. Let's see. Rose is saying probably manifestation of the TITH hitting the chronic pain circuit. Yeah, absolutely. 420 Witch, when you do your impressions, it reminds me of the late, great Robin Williams. Rest in peace. That sad life, genius, man. Robin Williams really, we have a saying, humor is the last refuge of the damned. And he understood that, because there are times when things are just so wrong, when you're in so much pain, when you're hurting so bad, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that the only thing you can do is laugh. That's all you've got left. This is actually a trauma instinct as well, so that's that part of it, particularly for trauma victims. One of the things that we will do in order to possibly minimize the harm to us in that type of a situation is to use self-deprecating humor, or self-depreciating humor, or however the hell you pronounce it anyway, so that, you know, you're psychologically putting yourself in a submissive posture over your abuser or whatever, the person that you're talking to in the situation. This is, like we say, a fallback. It's a coping mechanism that is used to minimize the abuse. So we carry that forward as well, but it shifts form into, you know, self-effacing. Yeah, there we go. We'll still use that one. Self-effacing humor. So that, you know, if you bring yourself down a little bit, it makes the other person feel better about themselves. It diffuses the situation and brings it down. And a lot of the times we don't even realize that we're doing it, because it's become that ingrained reflex. For us, this happens to us a lot after our wife or somebody else will give us a compliment. We get caught in that, what is this weird thing? Compliment? We don't know what this is. We don't deserve this thing. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And then, of course, we immediately make some kind of a comment that, takes us down. With that instinct kicks in, and we've literally finally just gotten to the point where we're learning, oh crap, we just did it again, didn't we? And our wife is like, so we're learning slowly, but a lot of these things, a lot of these reactions are far deeper ingrained than you think, and are far more knee-jerk than you think. So it's like we were saying to Oxy, give yourself a little more credit, because a lot more of this stuff is out of control than you think, and just ingrained into us by the abuse and by the trauma. So cut yourself some slack, guys. But yeah, Robin Williams, rest in peace, wherever you may be. But thank you. You ain't never had a friend. Yes, I think my dad's friend is looking into when he knows where to pick them. Yeah. All you have to do there, 420, is to go into any field with cows and look for them coming out of the pats. Pinch it, and if it turns blue, then you know it's the right type. Not that we know anything about that. A longing. Let's see here. Actually, just got 3 snails. Snail Farmer says, sweet. We had more than a few in fish tanks, because we used to own fish, and of course those things, the little ones, but we bought the big ones, actually. Don't know what they're called, big yellow ones, to help clean the tank with the plecos, which was amusing, because then the plecos would go and clean the snail. So you got the snail cleaning the wall, and then you got the pleco hanging onto the snail shell cleaning that. Let's see, Stephen LaRoche, wish we had known about them beforehand, but y'all's channel has been life-changing for us. We're about a year into our diagnosis of DID. Good, we're glad that our content is helping to make you feel less alone, and, maybe giving you some perspective on it. Don't go putting us up on a pedestal or anything, though, please. We, thank you for your kind words, but we're just one system, just like y'all out there sharing our journey. So, that's it for there. But thank you. We appreciate those words. See, there, we just did it again. Talk about it and literally just did it. Emerald Star, hi from Oregon. Welcome, Emerald Star. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Said Doggo, I always thought systems in general had an innate quality of creativity, something positive at least. Yes, it's because we utilize our brains different. They've literally been rewired in ways that they're not supposed to work. So, as some small compensation, we get perceptions, and we are able to perceive the world in ways that other people don't. We've tried to explain this to our wife so many times. It's like she'll catch us there, and we'll just be staring at her, looking at her, and she'll be like, "What? What are you looking at? Have I got something on me?" And we're like, "No, we're looking at the way that the light falls on the shadow and the valleys of your face, and the softness and the halo of the light behind your hair, and it's just." It's a beauty that we can't describe because we're seeing her, of course, obviously, as she looks to anybody else, but that's not what we're perceiving. We're seeing all of that other things, and it's like living inside of a movie. I don't know. It's if your system, I guarantee you, some of you out there are going, yes, yes, we get that. But it's trying to explain that to a neurotypical. It almost makes you feel sad for him in a way. It also kind of makes you wonder how many of the great artists might have had trauma in their background, Not saying that it's, particular to trauma victims, but I think you've hit the nail on the head there, for sure. Let's see here. So Emerald Star came in, everybody's saying hello. Softy, good old fawn response, gotta love it. Yep, absolutely. It all comes back to the stress response cycle. Freeze, fight, fawn, it's all right there biochemically. That is the whole basis of our disorder. In that situation, the amygdala goes, nope, nope, gives a big nope, and it takes that memory, encapsulates it, and yeets it into the closet. But understanding that mechanism, and in our video, Learning to Love Again, Sex Trauma and DID, that's we go into it in detail, and that is just really at the core, at the heart of the whole condition. If you understand that reflex, and I believe that Dr. Vanderkolk goes into this in The Body Keeps the Score, and far more qualified than we are for sure. No degrees or letters after our names here, although Data has been seriously contemplating going back to school. But yeah, it's all right there. The stress response cycle, it's all right there, and just all of the MRI studies and whatnot that have been coming out. Everything down the line is just validating that this is the mechanism that causes the encapsulation. So yay. Let's see, 420 Watch. You've been rewatching Mork and Mindy, put you in a happy, safe place. The little moral quotes at the end was always heart-hitting. Where he goes back and he's talking to Orson. Woo, boy, there's some old memories in there. And we got some trauma related to that, so don't worry, we're fine, but we know those areas in our memory where we go like a cat. So we're going to move on from that. But yeah, Mork and Mindy, Happy Days, that whole era, we know we know exactly. Laverne and Shirley. Ugh. There's one with a strong gut reaction. Well, we're not going to go into right now. Okay, Emma, context, trying to currently find out where on the dissociative spectrum questionnaire score showed OSDD, DID. Waiting for interview, adding questions, separate word count. Sometimes in university classes, when you're trying to concentrate and you're resisting my brain trying to dissociate, potentially switch, I get headaches then. Just wondering if people experience similar. Speaking for us, yeah, absolutely. Before we were diagnosed, there would be days when we just felt sick, but we weren't sick. It was just like we had literally had the crap beaten out of us the night before, and we felt terrible. And it would be like on off, like light switch. And just the body aches, and we now understand that what we were feeling and what we were experiencing was the somatic memories, the body memories of the trauma coming back, and re-experiencing that out of the context of the memory, out of the context of the abuse. Can't speak to the others. They'll let you know, I'm sure. But yeah, for us, absolutely. Let's see, your 420, they used to have their over cows. Yeah, we're going back, though. Cows are not taken here anymore. We know what you're talking about there, 420. Emma, that's the TITH in a nutshell. They happen worse as you try to resist the switch if it was very partially or difficult to achieve. Yeah, absolutely. Co-conning is a very necessary skill to learn. We're fortunate in that we split so early that, we grew up co-conning without even realizing it. So that's something that for us comes naturally. I mean, there's nothing natural about it, but yeah, we count ourselves fortunate that we're able to communicate as well as we can, except with, John, unfortunately. But yeah, TITH is the more you fight them, the worse they get. So stop, drop, snore. Let's see here. Blue Rose, is that humor thing the same instinctual reaction as smiling when we talk about the abuse? Not sure, but probably. Probably. Not sure about that, though. Emma Roses, wasn't quite sure that's what it was because of lack of diagnosis. Definitely get a lot of self-doubt, denial, and kudos to you for going in and attempting to, to get a diagnosis so you know exactly what you have and are able to use that as a base. Good for you. Keep with it. For those of you who, don't have those resources or don't have that ability, just do the best you can with what you got. That's what we're doing, all of us every day anyway, doing the best we can with what we've got. Okay, let's see here. That's beautiful. Let's see. Totally understand the movie-like perspective. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, talking about the way we see our wife. Yeah, absolutely. Blue Rose, yes. Perceiving live as if we live inside Starry Night by Van Gogh. Yes, absolutely. We knew some of you guys would understand. Exactly. Let's see. K. Redfield, Jameson, Touched by Fire. Not necessarily about trauma, but talked about mental illness and creativity. We will add that to our to-read list. Thank you for that recommendation, said Doggo. Let's see, Roses at Emma is starting to talk to them about the dissociative symptoms, and we'll put you on the assessment pass. We're going to let you two have that private conversations while we catch up on the chat here. Well, not private, but we're staying on top of it, and we want to keep up on that. Let's see here. Blue Rose saying to Emma, denial is a strong impulse. Even with a diagnosis, we get stuck sometimes in denial. Yeah, you will fight it. Like we say in Trauma Doesn't Lie, you will fight it tooth and nail, every fiber of your being, because those ANPs are still going to try to deny the EPs. They can't deal with the trauma. Must avoid, must avoid, must avoid. They'll go through outrageous lengths. Yeah, absolutely. It's denial. You're going to fight denial. Absolutely off and on. That's why we shared the Trauma Doesn't Lie, because it was the one thing that we found, as weird as it may seem, that we have been able to butt our heads against as a brick wall, that every time we start to go, okay, this didn't happen, I don't remember this, seriously, it's then we just go, trauma doesn't lie. We've got all of these symptoms, we've got all of these signs. A professional diagnosed us. This was not something that we sought out. We had no idea. Trauma doesn't lie. And that's our hard wall. That's our bulwark against that denial, which is why we wanted to share it with you guys, because it was such a powerful revelatory moment for us when she said that to us. It was like, holy crap. We could not argue with the logic of that. Data could not, who was trying desperately to prove, going through the family photos, literally graphing out our school years and the major events therefrom that he could remember, looking for correlative patterns. This is data we're talking about, and that one just stopped him cold. He had already found enough to, if not prove, to at least be highly suggestive, about a 90% probability. And he's very tough to satisfy in those type of things. He likes hard facts. So yeah, trauma doesn't lie. But you will fight the denial. Absolutely. Absolutely fight the denial. Let's see. Sigil, hello. I used to have kids ask me why I laugh so much. Humor feels so good, though. I saw Pinkie Pie. Yeah. Pinkie, yeah. There's a Spike. There's Pinkie Pie. We have them up there. Virtually every object up here has a personal meaning in one way or another, or is tied to a very personal thing. Pinkie got us through a real hard period right after the death of our first wife. It was right around that time that we discovered MLP, and there was just something so relentlessly cheerful about Pinkie Pinkie Pie, and we can see now that this was probably the littles looking for shelter, just because we were desperately scrabbling and trying to find our center because our entire world had just collapsed in on us. Somebody had reached in and ripped out the other half of us, and we didn't know what to do. We were just in function day-to-day mode. We have 2 children, must take care of children, must keep going, just keep swimming, but Pinkie helped. That stupid, the Smile song. Okay, we would put on the 10-hour version of the Smile song and just let it play, because that song and Pinkie and she got us through. She really got us through. It may sound silly, but there you go. You take comfort where you can. And like we said, now, looking back on that, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely perfect sense. We were getting passive and possibly some active influence from the littles who latched onto that. Curiously, Christopher doesn't like MLP at all. Every time that we went to put it on for him, it's no interest whatsoever. We're not sure about Susie yet. Pretty much Christopher and John, they're straight Disney, but from different time periods. Anyway, we're getting off the sidetrack here. Let's see here. Yes, Pinkie Pie, absolutely, Sigil. Let's see, 420 saying Roseanne. Oh, I'm sorry, could not stand that woman. Still can't stand that woman. She's talented, but we personally find her extremely distasteful and crude and crass. And that was the beginning of the whole pattern that has led America to where it's at now. Just the acceptance of crude and crass behavior in public as being funny or acceptable. That's where we started going downhill right there. Right around that time with Roseanne and Jerry Springer and Newt Gingrich and all the rest of them. That's where it started, boys and girls. That's where America's downfall really started to kick in and put us in the place where we're at now. With fascists in the GOP. Okay, sorry, we said that we're not supposed to talk about politics and religion, so sorry for that. Just rewind that and strike that from y'all's brain. Triggered just slightly. We have a problem with willful stupidity. Anyway, Roseanne, Mork and Mindy, the Monkees. Never watched that one. Full House, didn't watch that one either. Before things turn bad, at least you've got some positive associations there. 420. Body memories are the worst. Yes, they are, Stephen. Sigil Legion, that is why our Kokons seem much easier than others, because it was early trauma. Possibly. We're not qualified to speak to that, Sigil. From what we've experienced ourselves and read and researched, it would lean that way, but we're not qualified to say. That'd be a good one for your therapist if you have one to answer. Emma, you're a psychology student with an interest in clinical psychology. Whilst doing extra reading for fun, came across DID, hadn't heard of it, started doing more research a lot. Oh, that explains it. Yeah, you had that. Came across it in about May last year. Time gets lost on me. Yeah, welcome to dissociative disorders. Yeah, that moment of, oh, maybe I should go see if that's my deal is a pretty trippy one. Good on you for seeking an assessment, like Chris said. Yeah, absolutely. Our thing on that is it gives you a base, because there's just so much fine definition between OSDD and just the whole secondary level of structural dissociation. It gives you a good basis to build your treatment on. Let's see here. Sigil is saying it helps to have other alters poke. Whoops! Whoa! Where'd you go? Poke in with snarky remark to the denial thoughts. Yeah. Me, most of our snarky thoughts right from there. But what do you expect from a 12, 13-year-old girl? Hardest part of the denial problem is that this is a disorder that is made to denial. Denial of the condition is part of the condition. One of the first things that the therapist taught us before she hit us with trauma doesn't lie. I wish we still had her. Let's see. Sad Doggo got a head off. Well, okay, go get some rest. Watch the rest of this later. Great scream. Thank you very much. Sad Doggo, go ahead and get some rest. Self-care. Drink water. And remember, you're strong, you're loved, and you're not alone. All right? Get some rest. We'll catch you on the flip side. Emma, yeah, therapists always say I'm very self-aware, even if I don't have the explanations. Trauma doesn't lie completely helped because more aware around my trauma reactions. That's why I'm like this. Yep, yeah, it gives you that wall that you can't. Let's see, Legion, Snarky Remarks have definitely helped. Yeah, absolutely. Humor is the last refuge of the damned. Yeah, Roses is saying, I have no trauma in my childhood is a common one for people then diagnosed with the dissociative disorders. We tend to inure ourselves to the traumas that we did go through as a result of the dissociative process itself. Yeah, during our initial, our therapist told us later that during our initial interviews, I think it was the second one, before she administered the group, the batch of 3 that was supposed to come before the batch of 5, but she got enough. I can't remember what their names were on the top of her head. She was like, when I asked you if you had past traumas or, if you could remember anything about that, she said, I watched your face change between at least 6 different expressions like that before you said, no, can't remember any, and I mean, I do remember this moment sitting there. Chris, remember that moment sitting there going, no, and she's like, no, your face visibly changed. She's like, that's when I had my first clue, and we're like, okay. But yeah, so yeah, absolutely dead on. Oxy saying we have someone who denies we are many by telling us we cannot be more than one while sitting around a table in our inner world, and he's so good at it that sometimes we believe him. Let's see. Then it takes another person going, actually, that's not a normal thing for kids to go through. That's traumatic to understand that you, in fact, do. Yeah, it's that perspective. We're in the box. We don't even know that the damn box exists until somebody goes along the top with an X-Acto blade and goes, hi! Guess what? You're in a box! And the box is named Trauma. T-R-U-A-M-A. Emerald Star is saying, I was diagnosed with DID a little over a year ago. Yes, we read our journal to help with our dental. Sometimes it works. Some alters don't like journaling. Sometimes something we were working on. Yeah, we tried journaling early on for about our first year. And it really wasn't working for us so well, so we switched to the video recording. But again, because we have such good co-consciousness and communication among most of us, it's kind of been superfluous to where our journaling, if you are, takes more the form of post-it notes on things that we need to remember. Particularly as we're getting older and the memory starts to go a little fritzy anyway, it's become increasingly more important for us just simply to function. Which is in itself disturbing and unfortunate and freaky. Let's see. Sigil, terrified of experiencing that. I can't imagine how it felt, but I do understand how the cis kids would look for something like that, and it makes sense, yeah. She's grading. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, about Roseanne. Yeah. Let's see. Appreciate the passion about willful stupidity, but totally understand why you avoid these topics here. Yeah, it's flashpoints, and they're just better off left alone because it's just all stupidity at the basis of it. The human race is ready to evolve, and we need to do so. Let's see here. Hope and Joy. I'll never forget when she sang the national anthem. Oh, God, yeah. Worst performance ever. And welcome, Hope and Joy. Good to see you here. Let's see here. 420 Winch wants to know, can denial be associated with BPD2? I don't see why not, but again, we're not qualified. Don't have those letters after our name, and we're not professionals. But it's in there. I don't see why not. A lot of basically the whole structural dissociation scale, starting from PTSD on down, do share a lot of comorbid symptoms. The lower you go, the more of everything above that you've got. So I don't see why. I believe don't quote us, and I'm not in front of my resources right now to look, that is a level 2 or a secondary structural dissociation. So comorbid symptoms, it would not surprise me, but again, don't quote us. We're not professionals and, not qualified to say one way or the other. But it would not surprise us. Let's see here. Hound Doom. Hey, good. You did make it. Yes, absolutely. Okay, 420, which the short answer is yeah. The long answer is BPD is a dissociative disorder of sorts. So, yeah, Rose is once again saying what we said, but just before us. Yeah, it's all on the three levels of structural dissociation there. Okay, let's see. What think so? Any thoughts on? Okay. Hang on, we're trying to catch up here. I guess. Are we caught up here? Maybe. Yay for us. Thoughts? Okay, Stephen wants to know any thoughts on why systems create alters a different gender to the body. That's one that I would like to know as well. For us, our female, well, I don't know. This is a hard one to answer. Um, as a coping mechanism, obviously, but the best answer that we could probably give would be, which is mostly A and Ps. Obviously, if they're EPs or littles, they hold some trauma there, and their gender identity is probably expressed because of that trauma. I know, for instance, we were required to both be a little boy and a little girl at different points in time, which is why we have Christopher and then Susie, and then later on we had Christopher D, who became John, Jack, and Mimi, all in the space of one weekend or a short span of time. That area is still a little bit murky for us. Those are obviously the littles, the EPs, even though Mimi is a tween, and she kind of straddles the whole EP ANP, but she's definitely a trauma holder, and she can function within the limits of her perception in the modern world. We've explained this before, so we won't go into it again. But as far as the ANPs go, or the apparently normal parts, those who are not trauma holders and are created to deal with a specific need. Take, for example, Rosemarie. She is directly patterned off of our grandmother, who was one of the few positive influences in our life, and one of the major forms of stability. So, and Rosemarie would be the first to tell you that she'd be flattered at the comparison. But she is very much like our grandmother. A couple of other influences there as well, but that would be definitely where that feminine trait comes from. Arielana is still kind of a puzzle to us. She isn't really active up front as much. Her whole thing is just basically to maintain the glade for the littlest of the littles, which is primarily Christopher, and Susie to a lesser or greater extent. Susie is much more gregarious by nature and outgoing, despite the insanely heavy trauma that child carries. Everything is strawberries and sunshine. We've got work to do with Susie. A lot of stuff to unpack there, but we just we deal with it as it comes out, because we trust that the amygdala in the brain will present it to us. And this is also something that our therapist taught us. She's like, don't poke. It will unlock it in the order that it wants you to deal with it. And every time that we poked, we ended up regretting it. So don't poke. It will come out on its own in the order that it wants to come out. Right now we are experiencing most of John's trauma and processing through that, and also Julie's trauma, although that is real fresh to the system. Julie just recently poked her head out about a month ago. It was a brief flashback, and we kind of went, oh, yeah, I'm getting the crawly on my back. Just there's the somatic memories already. Un momento, por favor. There we go. So yeah, she just started poking out, and her memories are tied to John's. Julie is the female counterpart to John. Mimi was created towards the end, or rather, Mimi decided to come forward towards the end, right after the event that broke John. Julie, we're not sure. She's too new. Or we're not sure that we know much more about her other than she is directly connected to that weekend and or series of weekends. Like I said, it gets a little fuzzy there, but she just made her presence known. She is aware of us, but apparently seems to be content to just kind of hang back there. Like I said, it was just one real brief and very intense flashback. But moving right along here. So yeah, to get back to the question, that would be the way that the females work in our system. We don't really have any real major female A&P other than Rosemarie at this point. Ours were pretty much settled before we discovered we were a system. So yeah, that's our perspective on it. Hopefully somebody might have some more info for you. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully, Stephen, that'll maybe give you some perspective. Let's see, Rosa said, I had a parents do not usually toss all the objects in the house through the front window when they get in a rage. Oh, yeah, our bedroom window. Yeah, why isn't this room clean? You've had all day to clean this room. You don't think... Yeah, anyway, and the window goes up, the screen gets pushed out, the trash can gets pushed outside the window, and he begins throwing our very minimal possessions, which were just mostly books and our drawings, out the window, and yeah. We had our room is being stripped of everything day. It was because we put one single bit of blue tack on the wall after we had just moved into the brand new mobile home that they somehow managed to find money for, despite the fact that he was a school janitor. Yeah. Let's see here. So, yeah, we had that same moment. Oxy is saying to Stephen, I would think maybe a child thinks the gender would not be abused or maybe stronger or something like that might be a possibility. Emma is saying to Stephen, heard it explained as your system creates what you needed most in that moment. What I think is a primary protector is a male, as child often wished for older brother as protection. Body is CIS female for context. Houndoom says they've got a kiddo who is mute, but the most social of butterflies, bless her heart. She holds stuff as well, which is baffling to us all. Yeah, Susie is a frightening little puzzle. Susie makes us profoundly uncomfortable. Not like in a we don't want you here way, but oh my God. Let's see here. Rose is saying, I do truly think the ENP-ANP dichotomy is a clinical classification for the ease of the neurotypical doctors, treating us not a real solid thing that holds up in every case. Oscar, definitely ANEP. Yeah, and we have discovered as we've moved on that there can be a lot of bleed over. We prefer using the terms just simply because this is data's influence. We need things, facts to go, oh yes, this is this and this is that, and this is a nice little box where this fits into, and that makes us comfortable. But yeah, as Rosa is saying, there is a great deal of variation, and that will be between systems as well. The theory of structural dissociation is just that first word is theory. It is a theory that has been borne out more and more as the research is coming out, the studies are coming out, the test results are coming out, but it's still a work in progress. Aren't we all? But for us, we prefer to use it as our base of operations, as it was. Follow the facts. Let's see here. Softy, you're safe. Oh yeah, don't worry, Softy. We were practicing, just breathing, recentering. We've gotten very good at it. Ironically, we actually used to do that before we even got diagnosed, when we would hit, we didn't quite have a term for it, but, we were part of the whole New Age thing when we were growing up, right around that same time period. That we, between that and 18 or so, it was the whole dawning of the New Age and everything, and we were very much part of that, because Egg Donor was... so we actually learned, energy manipulation early on. Of course, now it's taught in therapy and not, poo-pooed as some long hair esoteric thing. Go figure. Oh, let's see here. Rose is saying also, as the imaginary adoptive brother is the primary host for middle school, kind of what Emma said, yeah. Stephen is saying the body is a 40-year-old male, and Sarah is in her 20s, and she's an ANP and an EP. Yeah, there is bleed over. Let's see here. Emerald Star, thank you for your channel. My littles love your story time on your channel. I have to go. I hope to be here next time. Thank you very much for your kind words, Emerald Star. Thanks for popping into the stream and for, checking out the channel. We're glad to see you. Hope to see you in the future on future streams. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment or ask us directly. Reach out to us on Instagram. But self-care, please. Okay? Be well. Drink water. That was a wonderful perspective. Thank you. Absolutely, Stephen. That's what the show and the channel is all about. Hound Doom, parents are weird to me, still getting used to the body's partner's parents. I wish we had good parents. Ours were called our grandparents. Absent biological father, egg donor, and stepfather that abused us. But at least we had our grandparents. 420, you're taking the words out of our mouth. Anyone seen or heard from Starry Girl? Not since last stream. She popped in briefly. Hopefully she'll drop us a comment on that. Not sure. Haven't heard from her. We hope that she's okay and making progress on her plan. Let's see. E. White saying, the most obvious ANP in my system is a 21-year-old girl. All the other girls in the system have some kind of inner caretake or trauma-centered function. Yeah, similar to what we were just saying with Arielana. Blue is saying that for us, some of us hold the different gender roles from the perspective of a child. So one boy is very brave, a male holds the more aggressive protection role. The kind of abuse was also very formative. Yeah, exactly. Hound Doom is saying, in college we have goats, so whenever we start getting overwhelmed, we got hide in with them because they're skittish and animals are more important than us. Lol. Yeah, cats have always been that way for us. Goats are wonderful people. I know, right? For us, it's always been kitties. Not a doggo person. Don't get me wrong. We have a healthy respect for dogs, but we're not the, oh, aren't you a pretty puppy, type of people. We're cat people, always have been, for obvious reasons. If you've been a long-time viewer and you've watched Christopher's story. Anyway... Close friend back home has goats, can confirm, preferring to hang out with goats than people. We kept chickens once upon a time. Chickens can be nasty little things. I'll tell you what, I had no idea that they were so aggressive. But yeah, it was kind of fun to keep them. They kept the bugs down, kept the weeds out. Okay, let's see here. Looks like we are caught up on the chat log. Let's check the time here. We're at about 2 o'clock, so we're about 2 hours in. We're probably going to go ahead and close it out here after a few minutes. Guys, go ahead and drop us any other questions or anything that you'd like to know on the stream here, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. But we do need to eat because we haven't, and yesterday consisted entirely of chocolate pudding and applesauce that our wife was kind enough to buy for us, but we're really craving protein, but can't bite or eat. Why is it that they tell you, okay, you can't eat anything crunchy, but immediately makes you want to eat something crunchy? It's like we're sitting there with the applesauce going, oh, we want you to be a potato chip. Nothing against the applesauce, but oh Lord. So yeah, we definitely do need to go eat. What breed of chicken? Rhode Island Reds. Which was kind of unusual to find out here where we're at in the West. Yes, we're being deliberately vague and always have been. So yeah, they were Rhode Island Reds, and we had a little, I don't remember what the devil they're called, the ones with the little curly, they're little shrimpy chickens with lots of curly feathers, and they've got the feathers poking out in between their front feet there. He was our rooster, little black nasty bastard. Oh, he was an unpleasant little rooster, but he did his job. And he didn't crow too loudly, so we were tolerant. But we had one, Henrietta, who was 3 times the size of him. It was actually funny whenever he would get too obnoxious, because we had him, de-spurred, or he had been when we got him anyway, because he came from another farm rescue, as it were. She would just sit on him. She'd walk over and just plop herself down right on him. It was the funniest damn thing. Let's see here. Reverse psychology, can't spell. Yeah. Let's see. Advice. Cheesy potato. No, thank you very much. Potato soup is very good, but not right now. That's dairy, lactose intolerant. Sorry. The anesthetic from yesterday is already causing problems in that department, which is probably a good note to end on. So we want to thank you guys absolutely for coming to the stream, for watching the channel, for watching, sharing, subscribing. Feel free to, spread the word if you find our content useful. We suck at social media, so we don't, have that innate sense of, sharing and, hey, check this out and stuff. So you guys share us around if you feel up to it, if you think that we're worth sharing around. We're certainly glad to have you do that. It sounds pretty pathetic, but hey, we're old and we're just not up on it. It's like by the time that we would get around to installing TikTok and learning it, which we haven't, we've never even been on it and don't really want to, they'll probably make it illegal and ban it anyway. So we just kind of stick to our own neck of the woods on Instagram. So yeah, anyway, share us around if you'd like, please. And hit like, share, subscribe, all that nonsense, and watch an ad or two if you want, because other than that, that's what we've got, and the Buy Me a Coffee, because we want this to be about you guys, not about us. So do that, and as always, let's check here. Yep, everybody's saying exactly what we have. Duck named Gertrude. Yes, we remember Gertrude. All right, guys, say it with us. We want to remind you, as always, that you are loved, that you are strong, and that you are not alone. Thanks, guys. This is Chris signing off. Look for the new content coming up, and have a great day, everybody. Self-care, rest, and be sure to drink lots of water. Catch you on the flip side. Oops, not that. There we go. All right, everybody. Have a great day.